This is the Dollop on the All Things Comedy Network. Now, Gareth, say you're a guy.
Oh boy.
You're just a guy, and say.
And what has this guy done?
Well, say you went to Europe.
Sure.
And you walked in front of a queen when you shouldn't have. And
right.
The princess didn't want to meet with you, and you basically
talk
shit.
Campus,
you talk shit to the prime minister about what she should do, and say you used just blatantly Nazi language, fascist language about immigrants in Europe.
Sure. So this hypothetical guy.
I really think if you're that kind of guy, you should talk to a therapist because you got some issues.
Sounds like other people have issues.
And I'd recommend,
sounds like I'm fine.
I'd recommend Talkspace.
Oh.
It's an online therapy company. It lets you message a licensed therapist from anywhere at any time. So
even in England?
Say you're making a total ass out of yourself in England,
okay.
you can still text.
Yeah, it's
you got
just a different time.
You got a texting machine in your hand. You certainly got a Twitter machine.
Queen's
in your hand.
bitch. What's up?
All you need is a computer and internet connection or the Talkspace mobile app. It means you can improve your mental health even if you've had trouble making it time for it in the past, which you clearly. If you're this kind of gentleman, you clearly have had a lot of...
Is this the kind of guy who's maybe doing it on the toilet?
Yeah, he's probably on the toilet a lot, so this is probably good for him.
Right, okay.
Therapy is very important. A lot of people need it. My wife's a therapist.
You need it so much you married one.
I married one. And the Talkspace app, a lot of people have been helped. We've gotten a lot of messages by people saying this has helped them because there's a lot of people that don't have access to what we have here in Los Angeles, which is 1,500,000 therapists.
One per Starbucks.
One per Starbucks. So remember, therapy isn't just about venting your innermost thoughts or digging into your childhood memories. It's also about practical, everyday strategies for stress management and living a happier life. One way is to not be a Nazi. Having a therapist simply provides you with a designated person for you to talk to who is trained to listen and to help you make positive changes. Positive.
Like I should shove the queen?
Okay. The Talkspace who was that? You did a voice.
It's me.
Yeah, I'm talking about a random guy.
Oh. But so
random
specific.
Guy. The Talkspace platform has over 2,000 licensed therapists who are experienced in addressing life challenges we all face. To match with the perfect therapist for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, go to Talkspace.com/Dollop and use the code Dollop to get $45 off your first month and show your support for this show. That's Dollop and Talkspace.com/Dollop, which is, of course, an American history podcast. Each week, Dave Anthony, read a story from American history to a guy that I've met.
Okay. His name is Gareth Reynolds, who has no idea what the topic is going to be about.
Because he's lazy.
Yeah.
Or else he would know.
Yep, that's right, if I tried. And we have a special guest.
I'm the fucking hippo guy.
Dave, okay.
My name's Gary.
My name's Gary.
You already went.
Is it for fun?
And this is not going to become the tickling podcast.
Okay.
This is like anarchy.
On a 5-part coefficient.
My rules of play.
Now hit him with the puppy.
You both present sick arguments.
Don't sleep till hippo.
Just like the hippo.
Hi, Gary.
No.
Nicely done, my friend.
Rotor in the court.
Gareth?
Dave.
We have, you and I will be on a show here. It's titled Comedy versus Displacement. It is a benefit for the Glendale Tenants Union. This Tuesday, 17th at 8 p.m. It's me, you, Jackie Cation, Moshe Kasher, James Adomian, Adam Todd Brown, and Josh Adrowski has been added, and I'm probably going to add a couple more. But that's Tuesday. That is at the Antius Theater, 110 East Broadway, Glendale, 8 p.m.
Nice. See everyone there. And Dave, we should point out that we have a lovely guest in studio today.
Yeah.
Pam Reynolds joining the Dollop again. Mother.
Hello.
My mom.
Hello, Dave,
Hi.
and hello, Garfy.
Gareth. Mom.
Garfy.
Just no name. How about no name?
No, I can't call you no name. That's not very nice.
Pam will be our guest on the Dollop tour in Salt Lake City this Friday, the 20th at the Complex, and Denver on the 21st at Gates Concert Hall. Actually, our guest we will announce Will Anderson at those 2 shows. We're very happy
Boom.
to have him. He's a big star. He's
Suck
a big funny guy, and we enjoy him.
Yeah.
So we have invited him along.
Super
'Cause
creepy
that's the kind
way
of
of
thing that
saying
we do.
that we're having
that
him
we
on,
like
though.
him.
No, just the way you're kind of putting it. Super weird, obviously.
So go to dolloppodcast.com. You can get tickets there. Plus, we've got tons of other tickets. Australia shows are now on sale, but there is a whole gigantic lineup that you can go check out and see. We've just added New York City, so get on it, people.
That's where they make that good salsa.
Yeah! That's my guy.
He's not a good guy.
Go, what?
And those nice towers.
My dates? Okay, I'll do my dates. Dave, I'll be in St. Louis at Helium Comedy Club July 26th through the 28th. I'll be at the Punchline in San Francisco from August 1st through August 4th. August 2nd through August 4th. I'll be at Helium in Portland August 9th through August 11th. And then we'll be in Minneapolis on August 16th. Then we'll also be in Nashville August 18th. And then the following night, I'll be at Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama, Sunday, August 19th at 7 o'clock. Portland, Alabama, you, me. Wow.
We'll see if I let you do all those.
Okay. Thanks,
we
Dad.
are also sponsored by Ritual. Now, my wife and I, we have a baby, but before we had a baby.
You have a baby? You had a baby.
We
You
had
have
a
a
baby.
son now.
We had one. Now he's a kid.
Yeah.
He's in Ireland. But
What?
he's in Ireland right
Is
now.
that okay?
Yeah, we just sent him.
To Ireland?
Yeah, he's fine.
You've heard the podcast, right?
Yeah, but there's leprechauns and stuff there. It's like a fairyland.
Okay.
You can send kids
Can
there.
you attest to that?
Is he in Dublin?
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely there.
Yeah, so he's
It's
fine.
really nice.
Does it
He'll
have
be fine.
fairies?
Yeah, ferries. Ferries, boats.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Okay.
So we had trouble having. I don't know if you noticed, we had trouble having our kid. So
not
when you
know.
do that, everyone starts freaking out about what you're putting in your body.
Sure.
For
We
instance,
didn't have trouble having you.
Thank you, Mom. Good. All right. Okay. Okay. All right.
such as vitamins. You start when you're like you start wondering as a lady what you put in your body.
Sure. What's happening right now?
Well, Ritual is a vitamin supplement.
Okay.
And a woman, she was trying to get pregnant, and she was like, "What's all this stuff?" And started reading ingredients. She's like, "This isn't good."
In the vitamins she was taking?
Yeah, because you don't know what's really in there.
Yeah, that is
you know,
true.
vitamins are kind of a bit of a scatter shot with a lot of stuff. So she started checking out what was in there, and then she met with some experts and said, "Let's make some stuff that is clean and
Okay.
good and
Sounds
has
crazy enough to work.
vegan, sugar-free, non-GMO, gluten-free, allergen-free, without synthetic fillers or colorants, like all like the stuff you want when you put in your body.
Like vitamins.
Like good stuff.
Right.
How about that?
Right.
But this is the kind of stuff that my wife was looking for when we were trying to have a kid, because you're trying to,
Be healthy.
yeah.
Yeah.
They got delayed release capsule that bypasses the stomach to help with nausea, because that's actually I always do vitamins on an empty stomach and then I want to vomit.
Oh, that is always a bad move. You're like, I'm healthy. I've got to go throw up my vitamins.
Nasty.
They're mint scented with
Sure.
an in-bottle tab enriched with pure peppermint oil.
So you don't have vitamin breath.
Yeah, that's right.
Where
That's
you're
right.
walking around like, yeah, just a little zinc. Just a little zinc at you.
Patent pending technology and formulation. So go to their website and you'll learn everything from why each ingredient is beneficial to where it's sourced. It's a subscription based. $30 a month, deliver your door. You buy omega-3 yourself. Is the cost. Buying omega-3 just on its own is the cost of a Ritual bottle. So fill the gaps in your diet with the best sourced ingredients. Happiness guaranteed. No questions asked. Cancel easily at any time.
Are you in?
Oh, gosh, yes, I like to be happy.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've
very
always
good.
said that.
I mean, yeah. Well, I might get there sometime.
Yeah.
95% of women do not get the vitamins and minerals they need on a daily basis. Ritual created a smarter vitamin with the 9 essential ingredients women lack the most.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's not for you.
I can
for
still
you.
take it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I can
for
still
you.
take
it's
it.
definitely
You can
for me.
take it,
I'm
but
definitely
it's not
liking
I will take
for
it.
you.
I will take it.
Okay.
Part of my ritual.
Go to ritual.com/dollop. Choose clean ingredients, which are backed by science. They went the whole route on this thing.
But those are the guys who are telling us that global warming doesn't exist. How come it's snow in New York?
No.
Why come New York have snow?
Sign up now at ritual.com/dollop. Now, Gareth, I have something else exciting to tell you about.
Okay.
Which, these people called us up and they said, would this be for Gareth?
Garrett, do you know my name?
Garfy.
Oh, Dave.
Thank you.
Mother.
I'm so excited he's calling you Garfy.
Third Love bra,
Third Love bra.
which you need.
Sure.
And we've
Yeah.
been talking to you about this for a while.
For the support.
Well,
Or-
tell us, you wear, now we let you have a Third Love bra for a week to wear.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect fit, right?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Yep.
Using thousands of real women's measurements, Third Love designs its bras with breast size and shape in mind so they fit impeccably and feel even better. Is that your experience?
Yeah. No, it was good because I was like, this is for sure fitting my breasts.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, yeah, this is my kind of bra.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Quality in every stitch, as you could feel when you wore it around all day.
Yeah. And I was getting a lot of looks, too, so you know it was a good bra.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the details make the difference, and they have premium fabrics, and it's expertly designed. But you know, I don't have to tell you.
Let me tell you.
Have you thrown out all your other bras now?
Let me put it this way. It's the only one I have.
Are you wearing it now?
That's for me to know and you to find out. Or
I don't think
I'm gonna
so.
work on
Thank
the catch.
you.
I'm gonna work on the
no,
tag.
no. That's for you and Dave to work out.
Third Love has the most sizes of any bra brand.
Okay.
So you can get the big ones for you, small ones for me. Cups A through H, bands up to 48.
Nice.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. That
How that?
you've gotten down to 36.
Yep. Finally.
Each size is designed.
36H.
Yeah,
My dream.
Each size is designed specifically for a perfect fit. 50% of all women fall in between standard cup sizes. So Third Love invented half cup sizing. Boom.
Okay.
Comfort and quality, hands down the most comfortable bra you're going to own. Tagless labels, no itching, which I know you had a big problem with the other bras.
I will say tags on anything I don't understand.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
I agree. That's
Yeah.
why we also,
What?
Straps that won't slip, ultra soft, smooth fabrics, lightweight,
there you go.
super thin memory foam cups. Third
Whoa.
Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now they are offering our listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/dollop now to find your perfect fitting bra. Get 50% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/dollop for 50% off today. They did send my wife one, and she's enjoying it. But also, it's weird to walk in and grill your wife about a bra, so I didn't do that. She just said she liked it.
Would you like me to call her? I don't want you to feel uncomfortable.
I'm already uncomfortable.
Okay. Sure. Well.
Pam, do you have anything else to add?
No, I don't think so. No. I'll get one of those bras. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
How are things over in, where are you from, France?
Okay.
Yes,
Dave, there'll be no more
yes,
questions.
from France. Who won the World Cup today, incidentally?
Oh, my boys, France.
Your boys. Here we go. Dave likes winners. That's what Dave's proven. Whoever's up top, he's like, uh-huh.
No, I wanted Belgium to win, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So,
Uh-huh. Sucker.
500 BC.
What? Is that the earliest we've gone?
Yeah, it might be.
It's got to be close.
It might be. Well, it's between 500 BC and 300 AD, so anywhere in there.
Oh,
Christ had
you
a
know
bad-
me. I'm kind of a stickler for that
Yeah.
time. So,
but
if we could-
but Christ had a bad time in there in that time zone, but mostly
he had a hell of a time.
Roman stuff,
Right. Okay.
a little bit of Greek.
Good guys.
The wandering womb theory came to be.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was the belief that a displaced uterus was the cause of many medical problems in women.
Have they tried ritual?
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Okay. So, okay.
If the uterus moved up, it would cause sluggishness, a lack of strength, and vertigo.
If the uterus moved up,
Yeah, if it went up in the body,
right?
like around
You'd be dizzy.
your lungs or whatever.
Sure. If the uterus hit your lungs, you'd be tired.
You know, you get vertigo, you'd be like, I can't stand up.
Oh, I've got uterus in my throat again.
Quote, and the woman is pained in the veins on each side of the head.
Okay, so I guess in
You get a headache. You get a
Right,
bad,
okay.
If your uterus goes up, you get a headache.
so and how are they measuring the uterus going up? How are they aware that the uterus is going up?
They do a poke or whatever.
They're just poking and going like, this woman's uterus is up.
Yeah.
All right.
These are doctors. They're
Sure, no.
old-timey doctors.
Those are the best kind.
If the uterus went down, there would be a strong sense of choking, a loss of speech and sensibility, and a very sudden, incredible death.
Okay.
So if your uterus goes down,
So if your uterus
Lights
goes
out.
up, you're dizzy and you don't really know what you're saying, and then if it goes down, you're probably gonna die.
you're checking out.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you
Dropping
found that to be the
uterus.
case?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mine's going down right now.
Yeah.
In an ancient Greek medical text, quote, in the middle of the bodies of women lies the womb, a female organ,
Oh boy.
closely resembling an animal.
What animal? A jellyfish.
For it moves itself hither and thither in the abdomen, also upwards in a direct line to below the throat.
Okay.
So it'll get just right around in here.
So
Like
if
right
in
there.
doctor speak, the woman has a sort of gazelle-ish piece of skin inside of her that is moving
It's an
up
organ.
and down.
An
It's an
organ.
organ, and
Yeah.
it's moving all around,
Yeah.
and it's causing her trauma in whichever way it hokey pokey.
That's correct.
Right,
You're
okay.
basically a doctor right now.
Hey, I told you I'd amount to something.
You are. You're really, really scientific.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well done.
It
Why
also
come-
moves to the right or left, either to the liver or the spleen, and it likewise is subject.
Depending on who's got weed.
Yeah. Also falls downwards, and in a word, it is altogether erratic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, wombs are vibrating.
They're loose cannons.
Right. Okay. And they're just sort of bouncing around.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, they're not. They should have been tethered, but apparently they weren't.
Right. So it's just basically the woman's organs are a pinball machine,
Yeah.
and the womb is the pinball.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
It delights also in fragrant smells and advances
Okay.
towards
so,
them.
Okay. So.
So if
at
it
some
smells
point-
something nice, a uterus will go for it.
Sure. So okay.
Like
so
if
now-
you take brownies out of the oven, a uterus is like,
Oh no I got a uterus.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like.
Exactly. That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Oh, he must smell the cookies.
Yeah, that's total uterus. right
That's,
Okay.
there.
That's probably why he's coming up to get the smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It's
Yeah.
No, just the hand comes out
And
of your
going
mouth.
down, it doesn't like the smell.
Don't forget
of
a
the
microphone,
Oh,
Pam.
going down, it
part of
doesn't
the
like the
podcast.
smell of the food.
Right.
That's right. It has an aversion to foul smells
Sure.
and flees from them. And on the whole, the womb is like an animal within an animal.
Right. So the sorry, just to be clear,
Uh-huh.
the other animal is the
yes.
woman.
Yes.
Okay. So the uterus is
Yeah.
an animal within the
Yeah,
woman
yeah.
who's also an animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So naturally, no one challenged this brilliant idea for centuries.
Sure.
And eventually, it found its way to a place called America.
Okay. Good that got exported. Doesn't surprise me. By the way, that's pretty much what 35% of the country believes now anyway,
yeah,
right?
no, it hasn't changed.
Yeah, you keep that away from her, otherwise her womb's going to come out and bite your hand.
Don't take the brownies out. I got to get the ladies into the cellar.
Oh, no, hurry. Who put Mrs. Fields out? Now these women are going to be up all night with their animal wombs and their animal bodies.
Damn it, you're going to kill my wife. Here comes her uterus.
Shut that cellar door. The uteri are coming up.
From a book, Organ Diseases of Women, published in Philadelphia in 1877.
Light years at this point.
Yeah. I mean, we're
Finally, some actual rational thinking.
we're a good century and a half along.
Yeah.
1,500 years along. The virgin womb is a very small affair
What?
and keeps out of the way and out of reckoning. The normal virgin uterus balloons about within the abdomen out of harm's way. It is light and hollow, and so long as it is in this happy state of unawakened life, it is without trouble and giving none.
Okay, so we've gone from
Mm-hmm.
the uterus being a wild rabid dog
Yes.
To it now is basically Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you mean by ballooning.
Well, it likes to stay out of its way. You know, if the uterus doesn't understand its world, then it just chills.
That's right.
Right.
It's only when the organ gets ill, enlarged or displaced, and thus troublesome that it becomes the object of medicine.
So wait. Only when like there's
So
a,
if it gets
a
sick-
problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Big or moves around like we talked about with the Greeks or the Romans.
Right.
Then it's a problem.
Okay, right. So if
Other
the
if it stays
uterus
in place.
swells, that's a problem?
Yeah, you don't
Would
want
that not be the
swelling.
case with most things that are in your body?
Yeah, but
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sure. Okay.
There were many things that could be considered harmful to the uterus.
Doctors. Men.
A fall.
Uh-huh.
Examples.
But I figured it was flubber.
Examples included, quote, slipping on the pavement on a piece of orange peel,
Oh, no. Someone peeled an orange over here. Doof.
being thrown from a carriage,
Sure. Oh, no. There's a bunch of oranges. The horses.
and tripping while going down the stairs, because those could all harm the uterus.
Right. Those would harm, again, I feel
All
like, why are we...
parts of the
Well, why are we holding the uterus to this specific spotlight
the
standard?
uterus is what causes all other things to happen.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of the Iron Man heart.
Yeah.
Right.
There are other things like excessive and tiring walks, long mountain expeditions.
Sorry, these are side effects?
These are what causes the uterus to be displaced.
Okay.
Ah, no wonder mine's a bit poorly today.
Oh, no.
I did a long walk.
Oh, no.
Medical experts said young women should be gradually introduced so their wombs could be accustomed to the harshness of a tiring walk. But even then, it was considered a great risk.
But there's always been this aversion to women walking.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is just another
Well,
reason.
if they walk, that means they're going somewhere.
Right. And someone's going to tell them something that they're not supposed to know.
You should be sitting down on the couch.
Put your fingers in your ears until I talk again.
Another medical journal said wombs could be damaged from climbing a hill.
Now, that
mountain-
means a
mountain-
womb within a person, not just a womb directly sort of
The
climbing.
womb. Yeah.
on its own.
No, the womb would not go out on its own.
It's left me.
It's goodbye. You went up a towering mountain.
I love life.
Also, dancing, running, jumping, sneezing, coughing, vomiting, and holding children in their arms.
Okay, so basically sitting is what you should be doing?
That was unless
Okay.
you're sitting with a child in your arms,
Right. Sorry. Yeah, right.
or sneezing,
Uh-huh.
or throwing up, or coughing.
Right. Don't get sick. Don't move. Don't dance. Don't have fun.
Yeah.
Don't go on walks. Don't go in carriages. Don't use the stairs.
Right.
It's a pretty simple list.
One doctor reported a case of a woman slipping and falling, which dislocated the ovary.
Is that a thing? Okay. See, now we're getting in. I mean, I can't poke holes, but dislocating it. Okay.
Nope,
Normal?
not a thing.
Not a thing. Okay. Because then the doctor just snaps it back in place like Riggs from Lethal Weapon.
Sure.
Mom, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do definitely. Yes, yes.
The doctor operated and removed the ovary. Other than having fallen, he said the ovary appeared healthy.
Okay, so once he got the ovary out, he's like, hey, what do you know? It's fine.
That looks great.
All right. Well, sorry, but...
It fell. Well, you took it out of me. Yeah.
You know, the problem
That
is, unfortunately,
Yeah.
someone removed your ovary.
That was you.
And there's no coming back from that.
Well, you did it.
So I hate to be the guy who has to deliver the bad news, but
Well, but
here
you're
I
the
am
one
in
who
this
did
position
you
again.
did the bad news. You did the bad news.
I'm going to get you through this.
Get me through what? The thing that you did.
I
To
think
me.
what we need to do is something radical.
Like you not be a doctor.
We have to take the other ovary out.
Are you a doctor?
No. Were you under the impression I was a doctor?
Yeah.
No, I'm an aspiring basketball player. I'm here to see a doctor too, but
What is basketball?
it's a game that's new. Something I'm tinkering around with.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. I've
Okay,
always
could you
wanted to
leave?
be a doctor.
Could you leave?
Did I leave?
Would you?
I won't.
Okay.
I got to see the doctor. But to kill time, maybe I'd take that other one out.
No, we're good.
Okay.
I've only got the
Let's
one now.
switch them with your eyes.
No.
Okay.
Boy, that'd be a great monster.
Couldn't you put that ovary back in if you're a doctor?
Oh, that's
Dave?
interesting.
David?
I'm going to say no. Back then, I'm going to say no.
I'm going to
No.
say at this point they just don't give a shit. And that they just won't
Really?
try because they're just
Okay.
like, we got one out and all right, sorry lady.
So,
Shouldn't have been walking.
That's right. Shouldn't have been
so it was a
walking.
bit of a punishment, really.
Well,
you
going to
shouldn't
the
be
doctor was a bit of a
Have you thought
punishment
about
if you
not
were-
being a lady?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the problem.
yeah. And there was no anaesthetic, was there then?
Nope. We just went and
So
took
to put
out.
it back in would have really hurt. wouldn't
Oh, and yeah.
And to take it out.
Yeah.
The whole thing's a nightmare. It's
it?
just
yes, it's a
spinning nightmare.
compounding problem.
Yeah.
Uteruses were also affected by exposure to cold or sudden temperature change.
Sure. So are people.
And it got worse. The mine cold also damaged the uterus.
The mine coal?
Well, they called it the mine cold.
Mine
Quote,
coal. Does he mean coal mine?
I
Do
don't
you
know.
mean coal mine?
He's right here. You can ask him.
morbid irritation of the uterus is induced by sexual imaginings. whether
What?
arising spontaneously or generated by improper and loose conversation.
What? Oh my God.
By the reading of romances, novels, plays, or books still more impure, and by attendance at the ballroom and the theater.
The amount of control
What are you talking
desired. I mean, just
We've almost covered everything someone can do.
Yeah, so far, literally, again, the only thing you can do is sit and have your fingers in your ears.
Yeah.
So you can't talk about sex, you can't think about sex, you can't read about sex.
Yeah.
Anything about sex will cause you an irritated.
No walking around, no
walking
coughing,
around, no coughing. I would say no oranges because it sounds like they're
That's how
just
you slip
leaving
on.
hazards all
Yeah.
over the place.
Going
What's
up
happened
and
to the
downstairs.
banana skin?
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
the
did that
banana
become
skin
a
would be a
thing?
Isn't
problem.
that the usual one? You
Usually,
slip
but
on.
back then oranges, I guess.
Yeah.
Oranges are
Hadn't
different.
brought bananas in then.
No.
No bananas.
So the reading and learning about sex stuff was bad for the whole woman's body, not just Are you starting a car?
That's the uterus.
Okay. It made the brain sensitive and irritable. The uterus was the most irritated, but sexual thoughts, quote, the uterus especially, it becomes morbidly excitable.
Okay, so
So the
in other
when you start talking about, when you start thinking about sexual thoughts, your uterus goes fucking bug
think of
fuck.
your uterus like Casper the ghost.
Yes.
So it is a living, breathing being.
Yeah, like
that-
an animal.
Like a wild animal. So
Inside
it's like
you.
a dog inside of you that knows English and is horned up.
That's it.
And that's what your uterus is. And the second that it hears anything ribald or sexual, well, guess what? It wants to come out and party. And then when it's out, it's smoking cigarettes. It's
Yep.
looking to do bumps of yayo. You
Yep,
know what I mean?
yep.
It's looking to party.
Turn it
And
loose.
don't let it find another uterus.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to have two uteri.
That's right.
Just fucking their brains out.
What?
And then all of a sudden they're thinking about sex. And then they're going to have a baby uterus.
Wait.
And then all these eventually are going to have to go back inside of you, woman, all because you wanted to think about a dick.
So you're a doctor?
Again, I'm inventing basketball.
Sorry,
I'm not
sorry.
misleading
It's
you.
just
I've been
keep,
very
you
upfront.
keep going on about uteruses. So
I
keep
love
thinking
the
that
things.
I keep thinking you might be a doctor.
Mine ran away when I was a kid.
Okay.
I had a beautiful uterus in my yard, and it ran away.
I'm gonna move on with my story.
I used to give it fish heads.
Also, sitting was bad for the uterus.
Oh, so now you're allowed to hover in a sort of float-like state. Water's good for you. Just floating in water for the rest of your life could be the move.
Turned out things like long continued use of a sewing machine and playing the piano would cause womb problems. So moving and not moving were problems.
Right. So your option is basically await your death from your uterus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously all these issues made transportation a problem.
Oh, God, yeah.
Horses must have been considered to be like a womb apocalypse, if you think about it.
Okay, right.
Side saddle was considered the only acceptable way for a woman to ride since the 1300s because of the belief that riding astride would break the hymen, and then you'd have all kinds of uterus problems.
Had they ever thought about letting a woman do things and then finding out what happened?
What?
Like, and hear me out, because
No,
I know
I don't
it's...
understand.
No.
This doesn't make
no, I
sense.
don't.
Hear me out, because I know this sounds crazy,
Uh-huh.
but instead of just assuming that every time a woman
Right.
was on a horse that her hymen was going to break,
Right.
maybe let a woman ride a horse.
You lost me.
Okay, so, and I understand this is heady. So
Yeah.
instead of just assuming that something bad is going to happen if
Right.
a woman gets on a horse,
Yeah.
you know, because again, you have a, you know, if you're picturing this, you probably have a penis and you
Yep,
don't know what it's
I
like.
do, yeah.
Yeah, and so you're just assuming that the woman is going to just shatter her hymen or that her womb is going to,
Yeah, yeah.
come out of her mouth and just
Yeah.
start to, take the stirrups and just
Hemorrhage,
want
I
to.
see hemorrhaging
Yeah,
and-
hemorrhaging, yeah. Why not just let her ride the horse
Sorry,
for
you
a-
lost me right
So,
there.
okay, so let her ride the horse for a little while.
You
So put her on the horse
I heard
and
the
see
part
what
about
happens.
the hymen breaking.
So
and
put her
the-
on the horse and see what happens.
you lost me.
But put her on the horse. Let
Right.
her go on
Well,
the
we're
horse.
trying to protect her from that.
I understand, but instead of protecting her, see what happens. Why don't just sort of try it with one woman?
I'm gonna
just sort of
call-
put one woman on
What
and
I'm
try
gonna
it.
do? What I'm gonna do is call the police if you continue. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I know it's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
I've been
I
drinking.
feel like you might be a witch.
Oh.
So a woman had to ride side saddle, which meant she could not apply leg pressure to the horse or signal with her thighs, knees, or heels. She could not drop her hands to turn or stop a runaway horse.
Sure. So
But it looked
just,
great.
Again,
It looked great.
just-
It looked fucking awesome, and then the hymen's fine. And the uterus
Yeah.
is all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, don't try to control the horse. Just let it do its thing till it stops.
That's right. Let the horse ride around.
You try anything too dangerous, your uterus is going to come out again.
A typical accident was written up in the Baltimore Star. Quote, a young woman received an injury in the field that may make her a cripple for life. The side saddle she was riding carried her under her horse when it fell down. Her spine was injured, and her condition was so critical that for several days she was not removed from a kitchen table in a farmhouse to which she was carried after the accident. Riding experts agreed that had the lady been astride, she would have fallen clear of her horse and might even, with her great control, have held the animal from falling.
Okay,
so
so
she would have been fine. But here's the thing: I just need to bring up.
Sure.
Her hymen would have been fucked up.
We don't.
What about her uterus?
Yeah, I mean, all bad. Everything up in that,
Everything
up
would
in
have gone
that
up.
spot.
Yeah.
It's all
So
one
isn't it
connected
better
thing.
that she can't walk?
Can I just two things.
The hymen's still good.
Two things.
Mm-hmm.
One, is the best place for someone who's just been trampled by a horse a kitchen table?
Yeah. Well, how else is she going to eat when
Put
it's
her in a
dinner
bed?
time? How is she going to eat?
Fair. Pushback. Absolutely. Okay. Point two.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just let her do what she wants and then
I'm
sort of
sorry,
you
you
were
lost me
but
at that.
you were
You
alluding
said-
to the
I'm
fact
sorry.
that she would be okay.
I heard you say, do what?
Let her ride the horse.
Yeah, I don't. I'm
Because
not
then she
follow.
can stop it and then she's not going to fall underneath the horse.
Right, but then what's happening to her hymen?
I
and
mean,
her
but again, I
uterus?
don't think we know that what's happening to her hymen.
I think we do.
But we've never seen it because we've always just said that she can't do
so
it.
you would like her to be an unmarried woman with possibly dying from her uterus bopping around.
I mean,
That's your answer to
We're
this.
taking some leaps.
The Woman's Handbook in Health and Disease in 1886 said violent exercise on horseback or in a wagon without springs caused uterine damage. It occurred.
Are women
if
women buying into this? Are women? No, women are like, this is ridiculous. Okay,
For
good.
sure. If it occurred, well, some are, but most aren't.
Okay.
If it occurred, treatment was complete rest of mind and body, right? So if you had a uterus problem, complete rest.
Okay.
Quote, the woman should remain quietly in bed.
Sure. Well, it's interesting to. It feels like you're adding a subtly one
like
additional.
there's an extra word in
There's
there?
an additional note in there. Yes, she must rest and shut up. What must she do?
Wasn't she just sitting on the furniture before and not moving?
she-
And now
let's
she's gone
get
to
her.
bed.
Let's get her in bed and zip it.
All right, now it's very important for all of us that she shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's gonna help her heal if she
That's,
does
and
not
all of us.
say
Last
a-
thing we want to do is
say
hear
a
her.
fucking word.
She needs to just lay there, bed rest, and if she says one word, I will come over here and slap her uterus.
That's right.
All right?
Doctor's orders.
All right.
And then the train was invented.
Oh, no.
Critics of early trains thought.
Women will not be able to do this at all.
Critics of early trains thought, quote, that women's bodies were not designed to go at
They
50.
will shatter. They will shatter into dust. And I'm not pulling punches. The women will literally evaporate in front of us.
Their bodies were not designed to go 50 miles an hour.
It's a lot like the speed bus.
And their uteruses will fly out of their body.
Do you understand what you're asking for? You're asking for a water balloon fight with internal wombs.
As their bodies accelerate to that speed.
The uteri will pop out of the
Fly
being,
out.
and they
Fly
will
out.
smash into other wombs.
Yes.
You'll have exploding wombs. Is that what you want with your invention of the train?
If you put a bunch of women on a train, then it takes off. Then it's just flying wombs everywhere.
Listen, I'm not going to sit by idly and watch you turn this train into a womb explosion factory. You foolish, foolish people. You've invented something you know the power not of. Women will not be able to handle this. My God, would someone think about them for once? Besides them, all the men, I mean, not them.
Some critics of trains were worried about everybody, not just
Critics
women.
of trains.
Some people thought that any human body would melt at high speeds.
Okay, so we've got. I mean, but that
That's
makes
a
more
good-
sense
that's a
to me
good-
than the highlighting of the
Oh,
uterus.
that makes more sense.
not-
Melting makes more sense. Oh, so if we're going to rank them, melting and then wombs flying out.
I'm just saying one of them at least is gender neutral. One of them at least allows for the crazy to go from penises and vaginas.
Okay.
As opposed to the one where the man's like, you fools, men won't melt. and neither shall women, but their uteri will attack each other.
Wouldn't it have been great if they got on the first train and all the guys' balls flew out? Oh my God, we were so wrong.
The balls are killing all the kids. You're here for a good one, eh, Mum?
This is a good one, I have to say. Yes. Well done, you.
For the ladies, jerking and shaking in train cars would cause the uterus to fall. One medical journal said women should not live in the suburbs because to get home, they would have to take a streetcar. Or to get to and from school, young girls and their uteruses would have to take a train.
And again, there's just nobody wants to try to put
Well,
a woman on a train.
No, I mean,
can't
they
this
are.
just be
People
shut?
are.
Okay, so they
but
are,
there's-
but people are
there's
like,
this. You shouldn't do this. And then what
Right.
they do, especially with the young girls, is they go, well, now that you've ridden a train later in life, you're not going to have babies.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you think about that. Young
well, I hope
lady.
your train ride was worth your life of celibacy and loneliness. Did you enjoy that? Let me ask you this. Did any of your friends melt yet? Oh, they will. They will. Huh? Because I know. Huh? Because I'm just assuming.
A New York doctor said the railroad caused women to experience nervous shock.
You've never seen anything like it.
What's happening?
And yet,
Oh
this
my
probably
God.
was never happening anywhere. And people
Nope.
are like, I've seen it a million times.
Nope.
A woman gets on the train. She thinks she's all fancy pants and brave. Next thing you know, her uterus is jamming down its throat, strangling her. She sits there, doesn't know what's going on, unmarried the rest of her life. If I had a nickel.
Well, if they would just get on a train, if they saw a woman crying, they'd be like, oh, it's her uterus!
Well, I hope you're happy. Her life's over!
The Lancet was an important and influential medical journal. In 1862, the journal came out against ladies taking their wombs on trains.
You could have just ended it at against ladies.
Trains were harmful due to the little jolts of an area which was already in a tender state, it said.
What
The
little-
uterus is always in a tender state, according to the Lancet.
Is that
important
true?
medical journal.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yeah. I'm glad we
mine
could do
is
this
so
together.
Tender.
Yeah.
It's so tender.
I'm glad we could do this
Yes,
together.
Yes. And
Mine's
me.
calloused.
Dave, you don't have one.
Oh.
Oh, do you mean the
Well,
one you have in
whatever
a
that
jar?
thing- what-
He's just smoking cigarettes, looking at me.
Is yours pickled?
Yes.
A pickled uterus.
I got it at a deli.
Did you?
58?
And you
Give me a couple of pickled uteruses.
We only got one left. It's
All
the
right,
weekend.
So give me a pound of meatloaf.
All righty. Pound of meatloaf is your plan B. You know what? I was thinking a bunch of meatloaf.
Married women were warned against excessive traveling by train because many women were taking long honeymoon train trips, and the journal strongly recommended against such madness. It was clearly leading to miscarriages.
Oh, my God.
Which miscarriages are super common, so they could easily just blame it on whatever the fuck they
It's
want.
linked to everything.
Yeah.
I think it's linked to sex.
Yeah. When you fucking have a baby.
Early, without... No, let's stop.
A letter in a surgical journal. Quote, the uterus is tender.
Don't wink. See,
Why?
he does a little wink at me every now
yeah,
and
I
then.
can see that.
good,
yes,
right?
Creepy.
yeah,
No, she's not
yeah,
saying it's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It is enlarged, and it is somewhat painful when any attempt is made to replace it.
Written by Jack Sparrows.
Replace it.
Yeah, okay.
What are you replacing it with?
I make a good fake one.
Hey, I got meatloaf.
Yeah. I got a bunch of meatloaf. I put it in a Ziploc bag. Boom, you got a new womb. Welcome to Boom and Wombs. Boom, new womb. Huh? What do you need, huh? What's the matter? You got a womb issue?
Can I get two wombs?
You got two wombs?
Yeah.
I mean, we can do it too, but I'm going to have to see the other person the other womb's for.
Huh?
Who's the other womb for?
No, both me.
Oh, you want to do a jam in your wombs?
Yeah.
You want to do a room? You're talking about a couple womb mates living inside you?
That's right.
All right, yeah. So what
Yeah,
we'll do
yeah,
is
yeah.
we're going to take a bunch of meatloaf.
Okay.
All right, we put it in a couple
Hey, I
different...
got meatloaf.
No. It's
Oh,
different.
okay.
This is medical loaf.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so we take a bunch of
yeah.
the medical loaf and we put it in a couple of the bags.
Uh-huh.
And then medically speaking, jam it into where your uterus is.
Yeah.
And
It's
we'll
right
put
above
both
my-
those there.
right
Now,
above my
the only
penis.
problem is you're not going to be able to ever ride a train.
What?
And if you want to go on horseback, you're going to need to, ride it while hovering and not controlling. Welcome to Bowman Whoops.
Okay, so
You are talking about wombs and not rooms. Have you got a list?
No, wombs. And that's
No,
not even a
wombs.
list.
Isn't it?
I
no.
don't think so.
Isn't it? Well, it's a speech impediment of some sort.
Fair.
But something even more terrifying came.
I can't imagine.
Bicycles.
Oh no. No.
The-
It's like a one-person train.
The womb's nemesis.
Oh, absolutely. The saddle, it's designed just to attack a womb.
In 1869, a newspaper wrote about a horror scene happening in Los Angeles. Quote, Los Angeles has a velocipede, bicycle,
Sure.
school for ladies where the dear creatures are introduced to the mysteries of the bicycle free of charge.
Okay, so, oh boy, so they found the Book of Black Magic.
Yeah, it's like they're turning women into monsters.
They just don't know the power of what they're doing.
They have no idea.
You fools.
The Daily Alta paper in 1870, quote, epidemics are fearful things.
Okay, so this guy's calm.
About 2 years ago, we had an epidemic of smallpox. This was followed by bicycles,
Oh, yeah.
which killed about as many indirectly.
What?
Yeah.
Is that backed up?
No.
Okay.
Would that have been in the era of the penny farthing, do you think?
The what?
The penny farthing bicycle. Wasn't that one of the first ones?
Is that the one with the big wheel?
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Big
they
and the
called
small
it
wheel.
They called it an ordinary.
An ordinary.
Yeah.
What, the regular bike they
The
called
big,
an
the
ordinary?
big wheeled one
Was called the ordinary?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. That's the normal one.
Yeah.
This is obviously the normal bike. And then here's the crazy one that we don't see this one going very far or catching on. Nobody will want to dismount a bike so simply.
So they thought that the one with the big wheel, I think because when you pedaled it, you could go much faster because it had the big wheel.
Sure.
So there was no even.
they know anything?
There was no even wheeled one, so they just had the big wheeled one,
Sure.
and so mostly just dudes rode it.
I wonder if that's where the big wheel for children of your generation, where that came from.
Yeah, probably.
The big wheel.
Yeah.
What's the big wheel?
What's a
Do you
big
remember
wheel?
it?
Oh, the big wheel.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I remember
The
big wheel.
plastic big wheel.
Yeah. Don't look at me like that. I
That's
used
the
to smoke
worst thing
cigarettes on the big wheel at 4. Don't look at me like that. I mean, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope not.
Men
Didn't.
were
Okay,
writing,
thanks.
and women wanted to know what all the fun was about, and that was fine. Quote: as long as they would remain spectators, the men continued injuring themselves.
Right. Yeah. Can't have a woman do that.
No, broken hands.
You'll get womb everywhere.
Broken hands, broken arms are super common because you would fall, hit something, and then fly over. And,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would imagine that the big wheel would be more dangerous.
That's not good. They're difficult to control, pedal. Accidents happen all the time. Small rocks could send someone flying, but women still wanted to ride.
Foolish women.
Why would you do this? You've got a womb.
Oh, women.
A womb.
Women, no.
Think about what you're saying, Sally.
Don't understand.
Think about what you're saying.
You don't want to have children?
Wouldn't you rather sit and occasionally get fucked?
Listen, I've got a beautiful tub of water for you to float in for the rest of your life silently. Wouldn't that be heaven?
Yet it was not considered proper for a lady to mount a bike like a man. So the ordinary is hard to get on, right? You got to climb up and do a whole thing. So
Woman doing that with
women then quickly soured on the bicycle, and of course they quickly soured on watching men ride bicycles. This meant men could not have as much fun riding because women weren't sitting around watching them.
So weird how that took the fun out of it for them. Why, no, you may pine for it, but never achieve. Now, watch me fall over this rock again.
Look at me!
Hello!
Then came the chain bicycle in the 1870s with equal-sized wheels. It was named the safety bicycle,
Okay.
meaning people wouldn't fall far.
Yeah, you can't die
so
from
it was
it as
like put
easily.
old people on it
Right.
and women.
Right.
Much easier for a woman to ride, and then cycling suddenly took off. The Bearings, which was a cycling magazine, quote, it knows no class distinction, is within reach of all, rich or poor, alike have the opportunity to enjoy this popular and healthful exercise. So it's the great equalizer.
Okay. I would love to get my hands on a bike magazine from back then, too.
Oh, my
just
God.
to see what else they're covering.
Oh, just the racism, I'm sure would be
Oh,
amazing.
my God.
By the 1890s, cycling was considered a craze. Quote, general intoxication, an eruption of exuberance like a seismic tremor that shook the economic and social foundations of society and rattled the windows of its moral outlook. What was happening was women realized bicycles could transform their life in a major way, maybe more than any other invention in the history of man.
I don't like the sound of this one
Yes,
bit.
men were losing their minds.
But they're liking
This
it.
is what is going on. She
Hey.
just got on a thing and left.
All right, Ted, relax. I think we all know
No,
why we're
I
here.
was standing here, and the woman, what is her name? My wife.
Doesn't matter.
The woman thing.
The woman.
Got on
The
and
woman
left.
thing. Yes, the woman thing.
My wife, woman.
We're all here for the
She was
same.
floating in the bath thing that I have over there for her
Yes,
to float in.
the
and then
silent
she-
floater.
And then I said, "Won't you cook?" And then she got up and left and said, "Fuck off" or something.
The problem is.
She left her womb, I'm sure. Is it in the tub?
Absolutely it is. Don't look in there, though. It'll bite your head off like an anaconda. Now, listen. What we need to do is realize that, unfortunately, we've let women know about something. That's not
Whose
us.
idea was this?
We thought the woman would quickly learn that her womb would get injured on the simple bike, but unfortunately, they seem to be doing something to keep their wombs in check.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
obviously thinking it's a troll under a bridge with a staff.
Thank you for destroying the world.
We all know what we need to do. Come up with a time machine and make sure the women never go outside.
Or-
I, for one, have been the one pushing for the ordinance to remove their legs for decades.
Yes!
You've called me crazy.
No, I
Their
like it.
eyes, ovaries, legs need to go. Then you've got a good, stable woman at
Wonderful
home.
woman.
Just something in a room that doesn't recognize light versus dark going glog, glog, glog all day.
Oh, my sweet blob. So, actress Sarah Bernhardt said all the women on bicycles were refusing domestic family life. Susan B. Anthony said bicycles had done more to emancipate women than anything in the world.
It tells you how shut in
Oh,
their,
fuck, I know
their,
that a
their
bicycle-
existences have been until this point.
How fucked up shit was that
Yeah.
when you put two wheels on a thing,
Yeah.
then they're like, what happened to the world?
I mean, essentially, you created a woman fun bubble that just burst. It's like a market. Oh, no, they found out about a thing. Oh, boy. I
we
knew
go.
we'd rue this day.
Eventually, this would happen.
Oh, we knew this would come.
This modern woman was referred to as the new woman. She broke with convention by working outside the home, leaving the traditional role of wife and mother, or became politically active. The bike was a huge part of this. The bike changed the type of clothing they would wear because the corsets, long, heavy, layered skirts of petticoats would not hack it on a bike.
Sure, yeah, that's dangerous.
So now they put on the bloomers. Remember bloomers? Bloomers are like...
I know, they look like onion legs.
Knickers.
Yeah,
They're knickers.
basically.
Knickers.
They'd been
There,
around...
I'll tell you what they are. Knocking on the door of pants.
Thank you. Oh, God, what's going to happen to the womb? Them all trapped up in
Oh,
there.
that womb can't be happy.
Needs to breathe. They'd been around for a while now that bloomers took off. Society argued over these pants, but it was a necessity if a woman wanted to ride a bike. When famous cyclist Annie Londonderry was in Phoenix...
You can just say Annie. We know who you're talking about.
was in Phoenix, her outfit so upset an elderly woman that the woman ran into a nearby shop and started screaming about the depravity of the 19th century girl.
Okie dokie.
She's got pants on!
You should see it. It's like a man with a womb.
The New England Journal of Medicine said it was unacceptable for women with uteruses and ovarian tumors to ride bikes.
Wait, what?
The journal warned 2 women with tumors rode bikes, and their tumors became rapidly larger.
Wait a minute.
Almost
you're
like you
telling
pump
me...
air into them.
Yeah.
You can
Because a
almost see
tumor
it.
just doesn't get bigger on its own.
You can just see. Yeah, no way. No way does
This
a tumor
has
get-
to be
no.
related to
If
biking.
It gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
These foolish women.
Also, quote, women ought not to ride during menstruation, though this writer admits that several of his patients had done so without injury. It's a hunch.
It's a hunch.
I'm going with a hunch.
It's a hunch, but still.
Yeah.
The 2 lucky ones, I say.
The bike seat was seen as a legit problem for ladies and their vaginas.
So I've had a feeling this would...
Yep.
Don't you understand? They'll never want a man on them again. Why would they? They've got a bike. I'm in love with my seat, Harry. You knew this day would come. I love the seat more than you.
Does this mean I have to learn how to fuck?
Yeah, yes, but yes. And be nice. Or fuck. Just learn how to fuck.
No.
Okay. Good lord.
Medical journals warned the seat could be tilted for ultimate pleasure.
Oh my God.
Medical journals.
They have no concept.
Quote,
Riding around on these two-wheeled fuck machines? Filthy whores!
quote, in this way a girl could, by carrying the front peak high or by relaxing the stretched leather in order to let it form a deep, hammock-like cavity which would fit itself snugly over her entire vulva and reach up in front, bring about constant friction.
This is animated, right?
Over the clitoris and labia, yeah. This pressure would be much increased by stooping forward, and the warmth generated from vigorous exercise might further increase the feeling. I have seen the case of an overwrought, emaciated girl of 15 whose bike saddle was arranged so that the front part rode upward at an angle of about 35 degrees, who stooped forward noticeably when riding, and whose actions strongly suggested the indulgence of masturbation.
Wow. So
And so, yes, I masturbated, watching her badness.
it's also the best part's also at some point a man had to get on and demonstrate. You see how in me it is? She's doing that, and she loves every minute of it. Riding and riding and riding and riding.
Well, this
and
feels
riding
good on my taint.
And riding and riding and riding. Do guys have hymens?
I don't anymore, but I ride horses. Another doctor explained, quote, if a seat is properly adjusted, this causes the clothing to press against the clitoris, thereby eliciting and arousing feelings hitherto unknown and unrealized by the young maiden, and painful and debilitating uterine erosion or polyp growths will result.
Who is
So
there?
if
I
you're-
mean,
if you're-
I know evidence doesn't matter now,
No,
but
but this is science. If you're
is it?
If you have a bike seat and the I'm going to show you with my hands. If you have a bike seat and then your clothing, this is your legs and your clothing's all bunched up right here, that's going to cause polyps.
You mean a cotton cock?
Yeah. It's like a cock and it's rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, and you're like, that feels good. Polyp.
Good thing I'm pretending to ride my bike.
Now you're full of polyps.
Yeah, right.
It's like full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her, she's full of polyps. Everything she says is a lie.
Obviously, this was a concern.
Dave, how about this? Was anything not a concern? No.
Yeah, men riding bikes.
Right. Yeah. That's fine.
And trains and everything else.
And probably just masturbating wherever and, actively Louis C.K.ing doorways. But it's like, oh, no, nothing wrong with the man. The fella has needs, woman, unlike you.
It was recommended women use a, quote, hygienic saddle. That's what they called a bicycle seat back then, was a saddle.
Okay, so a hygienic saddle?
So it's basically a seat. Now, you may have seen these because I didn't realize what they were until I read this.
Okay.
It's basically a seat with like a groove down the middle.
Uh-huh.
The middle of the seat has a groove down it. So it's got the two sides and then a groove. So your vagina
is
isn't touching
untempted, unable to do anything were it to become aroused through the ride.
That's right. Now it's not being aroused by the bicycle because the
Right.
bicycle is not rubbing up against it.
Right, but the wind. Ooh, the breeze it creates. The woman will be hooked on that now, too.
So this is obvious. It won't press upon the external genitals. The new non-orgasming bike seat market was born.
Okay, finally.
So it's taken off. From bicycle seat ads. Greatly reduces vibration. The perfect seat for a lady.
Oh, my God. They're not allowed anything. Can't they just have a vibration for a little while? For fuck's sake.
The duplex lady seat ensures ease, comfort, and a graceful attitude.
She won't want to go anywhere, fellas. Wink, wink.
The seat receives the weight of the pelvic bone, supporting the spine and entirely relieving the sensitive parts of the body from pressure of any kind.
The new 10-speed no clitty.
Absence makes the heart grow fond. Absence of all vibration in the Worth jointless frame bicycle has made the hearts of many warm toward the health and pleasure-giving recreation of cycling.
That's right. She'll know no other pleasure, finally, gentlemen.
Ever again. we're
Good.
how did we get to where we are?
Well, I mean, with a lot of really good, thoughtful thinking and a plan that made sense and the fact that we learned from our mistakes.
The best thing I ever heard was, I believe, was to get the vote in Iceland, or it may have been that they couldn't hold public office, but they just said, we're not going to fuck any of you again. And then immediately they were like,
men
yeah,
were just
you
like,
can vote and do whatever you want. Yes!
Then the council needs a minute to discuss. Okay, so they finally realized the thing they should take away from
So let's let them. They can run. Do they want to run stuff? What do they want to do? They can run the country.
Hey, we're all freaking out.
Okay,
And yeah, they
all
can
right,
do whatever they
I thought
Andy, relax. They can
Fuck!
do. Andy, relax. They
okay,
can do.
I'm cool.
We're gonna go back over there.
Okay.
And we're gonna say, okay, we hear you. We
Yep.
think you should be able to run, but let's make it
Yep.
seem like it's not because from the only other option is for us to start doing it with each other. You're acting too big again. You're gonna give away what we're doing.
I don't want to fuck Bobby anymore.
No, we're done. You shouldn't be fucking. Okay, listen.
We have a
let's
cave.
Okay, let's just not talk about your and Bobby's cave.
Okay.
And let's just go over there and tell them we're in. But it's not because of the sex. It's
It
'cause
is.
We've shut up.
Okay.
You're not coming over there when we go talk to
I'll
them.
stay over here.
Yeah,
but
stay over there.
Let him run. Let
Oh
him
my
be queen
God,
or whatever. Let
what
him be
is-
queen or whatever. I don't
what's
care.
going on
There'd be
with
like
you?
a massive queen. Just, I like
Stop.
fucking.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Just settle down and focus.
Okay. Just say whatever they want.
I'm not going. You're not listening to the plan.
Oh,
Just
God,
shut
what
up.
If, what if they take away blowjobs?
They're not gonna do that.
What is happening on our island?
Come on, we're a country. Settle down. I will do anything you want. Period.
A medical journal recommended once a woman was so worked up that she was breathing out of her mouth, she should dismount the bike and walk and take a break.
She's fucking it. If she's breathing from her mouth, orgasm has been achieved.
Off.
Keep your eye on her. If she smokes while riding, she's done it.
Doctors published damning results from surveys. 2 cases of vaginal discharge, 1 case of acute ovary inflammation,
How-
4 cases of harm from excessive use causing general fatigue, and several cases of serious ovarian trouble directly due to riding long distances during or near the menstrual period.
Who is the officer in charge of pulling over to check if there is a release?
Oh, that guy. Yeah, that's the
How you
town.
doing? Sorry about this. But he's just going over there just like, did you spill anything or is it what it looks like?
Come on over here. I got to put on my glove. Could you just dismount the bicycle?
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and put my hand inside of your vagina.
Why is that the first step?
You're riding a bike.
Yeah?
Yep.
No?
No, this is my bridge. I own the bridge. You want to go across the bridge on your bike?
No.
I get to do these things because
No.
I am a cop.
Plus you keep rubbing your nose, so it's not going nose to me.
What?
You're not
Oh,
going
no,
nose.
I'll put a glove on this one.
You already have a glove on that one.
Oh. Yep.
Okay. No. So.
Okay. I'm not married. I just want to put that out there.
Are you an officer or is you trying to pick up on
I
me?
kind of own the bridge.
A minute ago you owned the bridge. Do you own the bridge?
Owns a vague term.
Do you own it?
No.
Okay, I'm going to keep riding then if that's okay.
Yeah. Just
Finally,
right
almost
over
getting my
here.
routine down. Working the kinks out.
I almost. This plan is so good.
So tight.
Hey, Bob, I'm a bikini inspector.
Huh?
So men were absolutely horrified by what they were seeing. A columnist in the New York Sunday Herald wrote of the horrors he had seen. Quote, I think the most vicious thing I ever saw in my life is a woman on a bicycle.
What? Who is this guy? Who's that the worst thing they've ever seen? I'll never forget it. There she was gliding along. Fool.
Just riding like she owns herself.
Her womb was caught in the spokes.
I had thought cigarette smoking was the worst thing a woman could do, but I have changed my mind.
Ever since then.
Jesus Christ.
I saw a
the
woman
horrors.
smoking on a bike once.
How has no one made a horror movie about this?
Oh my God.
So this is my
The day she rode.
This is my pitch, okay?
Uh-huh.
So you're sitting on a road,
Sure.
right? Movie starts, hear a noise, look over, woman rides by on a bicycle. Fiend, end.
Fiend end?
Fiend, F-I-N.
Fin?
Fiend.
Fin.
The French end.
No, I'm aware.
Fiend.
Fin.
Is it Finny?
It's fin.
It's fiend.
No, it's Fin. It's fin.
Fiend.
Fin.
Why are we talking about the end of my movie?
Because there's nothing else to talk about.
So the girl goes by on a bike.
The good goes by?
The girl, the
Goes
lady
by
thing,
on a bike,
the
yeah.
one with the womb. She goes by. Everybody fucking screams.
Because why?
Fiend. End.
Why are they screaming?
Because the girl goes by on a bike.
What's the crazy part?
It's a fucking horror.
I want to make a movie about you pitching your movie.
Okay. Sequel. Girl sitting there. Movie starts. Girl sitting there. She's smoking a cigarette.
When you say movie starts, do you mean the movie starts or they're watching a movie?
Movie starts. No, this is the movie. I'm pitching you the goddamn movie.
So then you don't need to tell me the movie starts. When your pitch starts, it's
fucking
starting.
hear me out, okay?
I'm trying to.
So there's a rock. There's a girl sitting on a rock. She starts smoking a cigarette.
Okay.
Another girl rides by on a bicycle.
Okay.
Fiend. That's it.
First of all, it's Finn.
Fiend. Movie over.
No.
It's the French term.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm telling you what it is.
Finn.
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 Yes.
Fiend. Movie's over.
How about this?
Okay.
Finn, pitch is over.
So you like it? You want to buy my movie?
We do not
It's a
like it.
horror
We are
film.
not buying it.
It's a horror film.
Yeah, it's a train wreck.
Well, there's a beginning and an end. She rides by.
Normally the middle's where we need some stuff, too. And a beginning. Plus your end needs work. And you don't know how to say Finn.
What about she talks?
That's interesting. Now that's fascinating. That is interesting to us.
Why can't you just say Finnish?
It's a
they're-
French movie.
Is it? Oh, okay, I get it. Sort of.
We've got notes.
Not many. It's a short movie.
Yeah.
Another brilliant male writer, quote, cycling tends to destroy the sweet simplicity of her girlish nature. Besides, how dreadful it would be if, by some accident, she were to fall into the arms of a strange man.
Yes, it's like a two-wheeled juvenile hall. It will corrupt the mind, and simply, as she's riding it, whisper sweet nothings into her ear until she finds a suitor more superior than you.
Women will ride and crash and fly into a man's arms, and then they're married.
Listen, you know how it works. Their brains are tiny, maybe non-existent. So when they fall into something warm, they think, yummy, stay there.
Like a fish!
Yes, much like a fish.
I love women.
I also love women.
The Sacramento Daily Union wrote that doctors began recommending in 1895 that women ride tricycles instead.
Hey, girls, we came up with a solution.
Hey, ladies, gather around. We found a way to be worse.
Hey.
Hear us out. Hear us out. How about you ride around like fucking babies?
We know you guys were getting sick of us condescending you about the bikes, so we've come up with a solution. You're going to ride what we call twicycles. Because you're little babies who don't know what you're doing.
Holy
Tricycle?
fuck.
What is their goal?
Just the worst.
I mean,
So many health problems could occur and cause issues for the rest of a woman's life.
sure,
So these are all-
like associating with a man.
Yeah. Cures popped up that capitalized on fears that cycling could injure the kidneys, liver, and urinary tract. Warner's Safe Cure appeared in the Chicago Times-Herald, Kansas City Star, among other papers, warning minor side effects from vibrations of the wheel could eventually lead to death.
What is going on?
Got to get him off the bikes.
I mean, by any means necessary.
Any means necessary. You're going to die!
We've decided we're going to give you all penises. Don't call our bluff.
From the Boston Globe, quote, I have tried my very best to be convinced that a woman looks well on a bicycle. She does not.
All right.
The attitude is an ungraceful, strained one, and if the rider happens to be a fat woman, her face gets liver red and she looks distasteful.
Oh, my God. So she's sweating.
It's horrifying.
She's sweating.
No matter how much they tried to look their best, they have an untidy look, tumbled hair, negligee caps, which means not proper hats, and
There
a
we go.
general loose getup from stylish looking. Far from stylish looking.
Okay, so really, the complaint is that
They're not hot!
they're not hot, right? And again,
Okay, hear me out. I'm a man, yes?
Yes.
So when I'm walking down the street,
Mm-hmm.
I like to see beautiful women.
right.
This is making that different.
But what if the woman is enjoying the ride? And her enjoyment comes from maybe their appearance not being as appealing to you as it once was, but could be again, but temporarily not where you'd like it.
I feel like you're not hearing me. I'm walking down the street and I like to see beautiful things, women especially.
Now, but what if the woman's quality of life
Yes.
is raised by this experience she's having on a bicycle?
You're not
Even
hearing
if
me at all. It's like you're not hearing a word that I say.
Right,
Not a word.
right.
It's like talking to a wall.
Right.
I want to see pretty things.
And-
I'm entitled to see pretty things.
Right. What if we came up with an area where no man could go and the women could ride their bikes? And then when they,
What?
where they
Is
weren't.
this hell? What world are you?
all right, okay.
What place is this that
I was thinking the
demonic
park.
witches?
No, not demonic. It's not demonic.
It sounds like witchcraft.
No.
Okay.
Just women.
No.
In the park. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Oh, nothing. Harry. Remember the voice?
Oh, yes. I'm awfully sorry.
But women were.
Harry's not a woman.
Women kept riding fucking bicycles. Obviously, they were not going to stop. So rules had to be put in place.
Yeah.
And
No more women.
In 1895,
We're getting rid of you.
the New York World, which was Pulitzer's newspaper, published a list of don'ts for female cyclists. I've grabbed a few. Don't be a fright. Don't faint on the road. Don't wear a man's cap. Don't wear tight garters. Don't attempt a long ride. Don't coast. It's dangerous.
So constant pedaling.
Don't boast of your long rides.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to be taking them.
Don't cultivate a bicycle face. Also, a strenuous face is
You
what I'm
mean
speaking of.
sweating?
Yes. I'm freaking out when you say that. Don't refuse assistance up a hill.
Okay, so no. If a man wants to help, make him.
Wear laced boots. Don't wear laced boots. Sorry, they're
Yeah.
tiresome. Don't imagine everybody's looking at you.
Don't imagine everyone is looking at you.
Don't wear a garden party hat with bloomers.
Okie dokie.
This one I agree with.
Well, that one actually makes sense. On or off a bike.
Don't chew gum. Exercise your jaws in private.
Oh, my God.
Don't ask, what do you think of my bloomers?
What?
Don't use bicycle slang. Leave that to the boys.
Oh, really?
Don't go out after dark with a male escort.
What?
Don't let your golden hair be hanging down your back.
Okay, so...
Whore!
So a lot of rules.
Can I just ask?
Yes.
What would bicycle slang be, do you think?
Oh, God.
Spokes.
Chain.
Chain.
Tires.
You're on your two-tire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your two-tire?
Yeah, you're on your two-tire.
Yeah. Zipping by.
Zipping by on
Zipping
your
by on your
two-tire.
two-tire.
Yeah.
I
That's
should've-
for the boys. None of that coming from you ladies.
Don't overdo things. Let cycling be a recreation, not a labor. Don't ignore the laws of the road because you're a woman.
Yeah, woman.
Don't scream if you meet a cow.
What the hell just happened? Don't scream if you meet a cow?
I just love that they think
That's on a lot of lists.
I just love that they think women are like, oh my God, what's happening? What is that?
I met him. You know, women are going to start sleeping with cows if they keep getting introduced. I've seen it happen before.
Don't appear in public until you've learned to ride well.
Yep. And by that, just ride in your room until you're ready to go out on the road.
The constant warnings of how women could be destroyed by bikes continued throughout the 1890s, but not all were on board with the attacks. One Chicago Daily News article said, quote, when a woman wants to learn anything or do anything useful or even have any fun, there is always someone to solemnly warn her that it is her duty to keep well. Meanwhile, in many states, she can work in factories 10 hours a day. She can stand behind the counters in badly ventilated stores from
Yes.
8 o'clock to 6. She can
Yes.
bend over the sewing machine for 5 cents an hour, and no one cares enough to protest.
Yes.
But when these same women find a cheap and delightful way of getting the fresh air and exercise, there is a great hue and cry about their physical welfare.
By the way, if they're so obsessed with fresh air, why not let a man just blow into their mouths all the time?
Thank you.
That's the freshest air. Comes from a man, not Earth.
I'm sure they burned this newspaper down after that.
Oh, yeah. They were like, yeah,
Show us the monster who wrote this.
we want your head.
But it was over. They were not going to stop women from riding bicycles. They could not put the cat back in the bag. Women even started...
Or they could not put the animal womb back in the bigger animal.
Thank you. The way women rode horses changed. The decline of riding side saddle was finally here. In the early 1900s, newspaper stories started appearing about women riding their horses astride, one leg on each side of the horse. This was received as you would expect.
I don't feel well. I've just seen a woman express merriment with her legs over a horse while she hides her hymen shattering. Look at her.
Oh, God.
Smiling to hide the hymen pain she's clearly in.
The Los Angeles Times, May 1905, quote, "The woman cannot throw her leg over the back of a horse without profaning the grace of femininity, or grasp with her separated knees the shoulders of her mount without violating the laws of good taste, or appear in the cross saddle without any bit of dignity, elegance, or poise."
Well, we're making baby steps.
Yeah, we really are.
Baby steps.
Really making progress. Of course, worse technology was coming, the automobile.
The woman.
Doctors got to work explaining the horrors of riding in cars.
Oh my
For
God.
the ladies. From the influence of the automobile upon gynecological conditions by Dr. J. Clifton Edgar. Quote, "Regarding the influence of motoring upon the nervous systems of woman, one is able to sort them into two distinct classes. In one, little disturbances produced. In a second class of women will be found those who can never adjust themselves mentally to the use of the automobile for more than short runs at low speed. A speed over 15 or 20 miles per hour in a car causes actual mental suffering, nervous excitement, and circulatory disturbances.
So
the
there's-
last often accompanied by racing heart, beats extending into the night and causing insomnia."
There's two camps when it comes to a woman in
Yep.
an automobile.
Go ahead.
The
like to hear this. Yeah.
first one,
Yeah.
negligible.
All good.
You'll basically not notice much of a
you-
difference in your woman.
Drive about.
Drive about. She's
Yeah.
going to seem the same.
Yeah.
She might be the same.
Okay.
The second class,
Yep.
like I said, first class, nothing bad.
Yep.
The second class, her body becomes hell.
Whoa.
Her body becomes a complete nightmarish hell. She is in a skin prison
Oh, Jesus.
that she cannot shatter her way out of.
From the car.
Yes, exactly. Her heart rate explodes.
Fuck me.
At this point, her blood is probably leaking from her heart.
Good God,
Going
Doc.
all over her womb like a magic shell.
Yeah.
She is losing her control.
Yeah.
Her brain is melting. Her genitalia is aroused to the point where she is achieving some sort of a satanic orgasm. The woman will, without question, explode. It's a matter of how much time do you have on your hands.
Yeah, now,
The second you see any disturbance, the best thing you can do is stop your car, get your woman out, and throw her in ice. Throw her in a big tub of ice.
now you're a doctor. Yeah?
I am an absolute mechanic. I did not mean to mislead you. I am
Sorry.
a car mechanic.
No, because you're talking about women and their bodies and
Yeah,
stuff. so
yeah,
I
of
figured
course.
that you
That's
were a
right. Yeah,
doctor
no, I'm
of
not a
some kind.
doctor. I'm a guy who knows stuff. I'm a car mechanic.
Like you're just a guy.
I'm a guy.
So you know about cars.
I know a lot about cars. And I also know what it does. I told you one of the camps of women will stay fine. Okay?
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
pretty
but-
sure I know two camps. I'm not saying that, hey, watch out, I'm not this Chicken Little guy who, all the women are going to die. They're not. 78% of them will. And they will melt like candles.
Melt?
78% of the women, whatever you call them, they will melt like candles.
You're a doctor.
I am a mechanic. I'm a doctor of cars. But a woman is a lot like a car.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces that go in there.
No, that's not-
And they don't really work.
No.
And she's in a lot of
No,
danger.
No, none of that is true.
So if she's like a car with too many parts.
None of that.
She's like a car with no engine and 5 batteries.
Okay, so-
she's all jammed up.
No.
And you, sir, want to take her for a ride, she will melt like a goddamn candle.
Have you ever had intercourse?
With a car, yeah, I sleep with a lot of the cars.
Jesus Christ! Get out of my fucking house.
Okay,
I'm
well,
not buying your car.
First of all, I am a doctor.
No, you can't be a doctor now.
All right, I'm not a doctor, but I want to stay for dinner. Come on, it smells really
Honey,
good.
Honey, could you cook this nice man a meal?
You're not letting her stand up, are you?
Yeah.
Oh my God! All of her baby parts are gonna drop on your floor and turn into some sort of demon.
I took off her legs.
Oh, good. Okay, I was gonna
Fine.
say.
She's healthy.
Oh, very healthy. Mouth's a little active for my liking.
Other doctors responded to Dr. Edgar's paper. A Dr. Broadhead, quote, I think Dr.
Broadhead.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I think.
Quote, I think Dr. Edgar's paper is most conservative. Certain women appear to be especially susceptible to the miscarriage influence of the automobile, and certain conditions within the female pelvis appear to me to favor this. Women with relaxed uterus support are especially prone to the unfavorable vibrations introduced by excessive motoring.
Absolutely. Yes, you want to be careful.
In 1909, clearly tired of the bullshit, 22-year-old Alice Ramsey drove 3 female friends cross-country in 59 days.
Oh, my God.
What is this? Which helped prove women could be trusted behind the wheel. The idea of a wandering room after literally about 2 2,000 years was starting to be dispelled. Suddenly, doctors started coming out against the wandering womb.
Ah.
The Journal of the AMA in 1912, quote, I have seen cases of fractured pelvises in women. In none have I ever seen a displaced uterus. Numerous similar records can be collected to prove that severe crushing injuries do not cause displacements of the uterus.
Well, I mean, if you're going to try to prove something, you might find something you don't like.
From an anatomical standpoint, traumatic displacements of the uterus practically never occur. Doctors have long marveled at how the little organ finds its way back when the surgeon's knife is near. Why this sudden change? A doctor quote. One of the largest city railway companies informed me that this is a frequent cause for claims of personal injury.
Oh, God.
What?
That's why?
Another large railway company stated that
It's frivolous.
it had 500 such claims. The insurance companies consulted likewise stated that traumatic displacements of the uterus were frequently claimed and were among their most difficult cases to handle. Yes, displaced uterus were now costing the railroads tons of money.
And that's why. So they were like, fine.
Fine, there's no moving uterus.
But they still shouldn't be allowed to do it. Just 'cause.
Doctors started changing their diagnosis because women were filing insurance claims. The doctors...
What a great... Now, was that in any way a tactic? Or were women just sort of like, it's the time we live in, let's just...
Well, back then, women had to... First of all, if you want to be independent, you could do stuff like if you were engaged to a man and he left you, you could sue him for money.
Okay.
So there was a way that, like, the system of capitalism allowed women to do certain things so they wouldn't be dependent upon the state, of which there was no actual dependence on the state, so they would be tossed out.
Right.
So it was a way for them to survive, essentially.
Right. And then so now the guys are just like, oh, this loophole is affecting us negatively.
Close this one.
Let's
Well,
close it.
this is one that's not good because this keeps them from getting... Now no man controls them if they get a payout from the railroad, right? The displaced uterus is now costing the railroads money.
There's a sentence I didn't think I'd hear.
Doctors start charging their diagnoses.
The displaced uterus was starting to cost the railroads money.
Yes.
The doctor switch was bad news for some women as personal injury claims for traumatic uterus displacements were being filed against railroads frequently. So the idea of the wandering uterus was not ended because men suddenly realized they were being assholes. It was due simply to cash and capitalism, money. Doctors were coming down on the other side. A Dr. C.W. Hopkins said 12 patients had claimed they had a displaced uterus, but none of the claims were authentic. Another surgeon said he had seen from 80 to 100 alleged cases, but none were displacements. Quote, in a majority of cases, the person claiming the injury was a malingerer, a lazy slacker kind of person.
Okay.
One of the best-known railway surgeons in the country.
How are you?
I have no idea.
I'm Dr. John Train.
After I read this, I so wanted to pitch a show called Railway Surgeon.
How are you? I'm the railway surgeon.
I handle miscarriages of justice.
I assume because they had long train trips, that there was a doctor on the train.
Yeah.
That would make sense, I guess, because
The train surgeon.
Weeks.
If you're a surgeon on a train, you're just in the booze cart bringing the hammer down every day. Like, what do you mean? A hernia? Oh shit! I haven't been drinking for this. All right, well, let's just get the train milkman. We have one of everything. This is Noah's Ark.
One of the best-known railway surgeons in the country stated that
How are you? I'm not even the best, but I'm up there.
in more than 25,000 accident cases, he had never seen a true displacement or prolapsed.
Can I leave the train now?
uterus. Yes.
Please?
No.
I want to go home.
The International Journal of Surgery, quote, if there is a good possibility of collecting large damages, a slight fall on a railway train may be deemed a sufficient case of displacement of the uterus. Now take, for instance, our present fashions.
Sure, bloomers.
A lady will wear a tight corset, and she is almost undressed except as to that. If she has a displacement of the uterus that can be determined by 4 doctors before a jury, this will gain her a judgment. They do not stop to consider her dress, and that she may be without very much except a corset. We need to be very careful in forming our opinions when called for claims of an injury of this kind. So I think that's going back to the cold uterus thing, that he's trying to say that the displacements were happening because of what they were.
I mean, the idea that a corset holds your womb in place.
No, not in place. I think it. No, that might be. That might be what he's saying.
That's well, either way. The idea that your clothing, that's what. Hey, skin is nature's clothing. That's what you have on to hold these organs in place. He's like, yes, but still, bloomers will let the heart leak out of the mouth. Quite simply.
I just want to say, maybe we should just let women take over for a little while. Maybe
Maybe
we should take a back seat and not do anything. We just how about all
Dave,
men?
we would take a back seat, but then our balls would come out of our mouths.
Maybe men should take a break.
Without question. Oh, imagine.
Fuck.
Uh-huh.
So uterine displacement was on its way out.
Finally.
Then came airplanes.
Oh, no.
When the first international requirements for commercial pilots were proposed in 1919, female pilots were to be examined by a doctor every 3 months, while a man pilot was examined every 6 months.
Sure.
In 1933, Aeronautics Department medical doctor Roy Whitehead began keeping records of menstrual abnormalities, pregnancies, and miscarriages of female pilots, and he recommended female pilots not fly 3 days before menstruation to 3 days afterwards, which can be up to 13 days.
So pretty much half the month.
Dr. Whitehead, quote, many women pilots have fainted when flying with fatal results, of which there's no proof whatsoever.
Right. But again, there's that P word.
He wrote an article for the Journal of Aviation Medicine in which he said that out of 10 female pilots killed while flying, 8 were menstruating.
I double-checked. There was certainly blood on the body.
Right? How do you...
There was blood. Now, the crash was horrific, but the woman was definitely covered in menstruation. A lot of it came from her head, too. A lot of head menstruation.
Quote,
Terrible.
Women are not physically or psychologically suited for flying or on a regular run.
Nope.
Still, women flew. In October 1934, Dr. Jeanette Packard piloted a balloon to a record altitude 5,579 feet.
How's your vagina?
It's popping.
I knew it.
But the National Geographic Society refused to back her flight, saying they would have nothing to do with sending a woman and mother in a balloon into danger.
Yep.
In 1941, the Journal of Aviation Medicine published an article, quote, should women fly during the menstrual period?
What? I mean, that is so insane.
And during World War II...
right? I mean, just even with our standards today that are shit, how inappropriate a title is that for an article?
Madness. And during World War II, doctors said women Air Force pilots shouldn't fly during their menstrual cycles. So why not take this thought process into space?
Oh, my God.
In 1960, Dr. William Lovelace II...
Hello, Lovelace here. Welcome to Lovelace.
And Brigadier General Donald Flickinger...
Hi, I'm Mr. Flickinger.
...thought maybe women might be good astronauts because they are on average smaller and lighter than men.
Oh, but Dave, you're forgetting about that nasty thing betwixt their legs.
Huh?
Yes.
The bicycle seat?
That's right.
The Women in Space program had begun. After rigorous testing, 13 women passed the same test as NASA's astronaut selection process.
Well, there's one problem.
The group was then told they would be going to the Naval School of Aviation Medicine in Florida to undergo advanced aeromedical examinations using military equipment and jet aircraft. So this is on a military base.
Okay.
2 of the women quit their jobs to attend, but just days before they were to report, the Navy said it would not allow the use of their facilities, and the program was immediately over.
Okay, good.
A year later, Soviet cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova became the first woman in space.
She is somehow able to stop period with her mind. She's strong. She's able to keep control of it. She actually push it.
There's no way she's a woman.
She absolutely woman.
She's not a woman. A woman goes into space.
She procrastinate, period.
A woman goes into space when the aircraft comes back down and you take off the top of that aircraft, blood shoots out.
No, but she's a
That's
strong.
she's a
strong Soviet woman.
She's a man.
No, she's a woman.
With a penis.
No, she's strong Soviet woman. She able to say to her body, "Okay, body, I know you want to have period. Can we wait 6 months and then we have one really big period?"
No, that's not what happens.
Yes, that is exactly what she do.
Women explode.
Yes, American women explode.
No, all women.
Not all women.
You can't control your apparatus down there.
That
thing is like an animal in an animal.
She trained for years to be able to control apparatus down there, which she
I
does.
don't
She
believe
does
it.
control
I don't believe it. It's
apparatus
not
down
true.
there.
Not true.
Absolutely.
You send
So
a
then
man
at
up
the end
there.
of 6 months, she have one enormous. She has 6 months At the 6-month period, the end of 6 months, she had one terrible period. She cried the whole time. She ate so much chocolate ice cream. All she do is talk about how much she missed her boyfriend. But we are able to send her in space. So yes, she's a weak woman. Of course she's a weak woman. She woman. But she able to postpone her weak womanness for a little while to get job done for Soviet army. Foolish man. It's like you have no gynecologist in America.
We got a lot.
Yes,
Why do you think our women can't ride horses or trains?
Well, because they'll explode. We're not idiots. We all believe in the same science
All
technology.
right. We finally found a goddamn common ground.
Yes, that's right. Plus, we understand our head is off to America. Best trained surgeon in the world.
Thank you.
Number one for trained surgery.
Thank you.
Yes, without question.
So the U.S. went the other way as the Soviets.
So all they need is for the Russians to go up and do it once. And they're like, women, get up there.
Nope.
Oh, no. They were like...
By 1964, the Women in Space program, with zero evidence, stated that putting, quote, a temperamental psychophysiological woman, they're calling a hormonal woman is what they're saying there,
or a woman.
together with a complicated machine is not suggested.
Okay, right, because, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
It stated that women would have to time her flight to her cycle to avoid issues, and that was not possible.
It's impossible.
Others said
Unless we really figure it out.
Unless we do. Others said microgravity might increase the incidence of retrograde menstruation.
Absolutely.
Which is a thing.
Yes, it is.
Blood might flow up the fallopian tubes into the abdomen, causing health problems. This was
Yes.
based on nothing.
No, believe it or not, you'll get her up there and she'll be a blood geyser. Just fountaining blood out of her mouth.
No one had done any experiments whatsoever. There
You
was
don't need
zero
experiments
data
when you have a gut instinct.
to support or refute it. By the mid-1960s, NASA wasn't open to women since the requirements for astronauts stipulated that they be military test pilots. So this excluded women until 1978.
When were chimps allowed to go to space? That had to be by now,
It was
for
like
sure.
the fucking late 50s. 20 years after the Soviets, in 1983, Sally Ride became the first American woman in space. Sally, quote, I remember the engineers trying to decide how many tampons should be packed in
Oh
it
my God.
on a 1-week flight. They asked, is 100 the right number?
Hey, Sally, how are you? We're the geniuses from NASA.
Hi.
How many tampons for your vagina enough? We recommend 100.
Do you know what books are?
Yeah, books. We read a bunch of books.
There's biology books and stuff you could actually just look
Yeah,
up.
but the difference is your vagina's going to space. And without being too intrusive, how many of these cotton things do you need for it?
Why don't you put one in your ass,
Well, but
and one in your nose, and
Okay.
then one in your other nose,
yeah.
and then put one in your eye?
Hey, I think space is already starting to affect her. She thinks that we need them. Sally, we'll just put 1,000 in here,
Great.
okay?
Yeah, that's good.
And put them in your vagina when you get up there because your blood's going to go crazy.
Good.
She's become a real jerk.
There have now been a lot of women in space. Turns out no problems with menstruating. Just like no problem with the wombs on horses and bikes and cars and trains. Women are still not allowed on submarines in the Navy. The excuse being sleeping and privacy arrangements. A large part of that argument was the lack of an area for gynecological exams. So we've really advanced there. Okay.
Have they have they thought about a submarine surgeon?
Addendum, epilogue. We'll call it the epilogue.
Sure.
In 2010, Gianfranco Casper, president of the International Ski Federation, said on ESPN that the female uterus might burst upon landing from a ski jump.
Holy shit.
Online headline, February 14th, 2014, quote, first women's Olympic ski jumping competition completed without a single uterus explosion.
Boy, but talk about a rating spike.
Anyway. Men, men.
What other...
We're great.
At what point, when you're wrong all the time, does it start to... do we say we don't value your opinion on women's...
But can you imagine, like, like if you were a dude and you were like...
I am a dude.
But if back then, if you were a dude and you were like, what if we just let ladies ride bicycles and the amount of shit that would come down on you from the other dude?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you? Check out fucking Larry over here.
Yeah.
But is it still on?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, don't you think a lot of this is sort of happening today here?
No.
Reverting with
No.
this
In what
present
way? In what
regime,
way?
100%.
with this regime.
100%.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
all this about.
Well,
I
what
There's a
what
lot of there's a Jordan
lot of
Peterson.
reverting, isn't
Jordan
there?
Peterson is a big
he's getting
Toronto professor who's becoming huge, and it's tons of this kind of shit. And
Right.
he's like talking about forced monogamy, and like this is a big thing that's coming back.
Well, another I mean, what is definitely a trend that is back now is that your science has no value, and if someone just says something's true because they believe it, that's enough. Or if someone just says that something's true and it isn't, but they say it enough, that's enough.
But I was thinking in particular about, what's going on with the government here and the Supreme Court and all.
Totally.
It's all reverting.
Yeah.
Because it is like a regime.
You're
thing,
talking
isn't
about
it?
how 5 white guys going to take away the woman's right to choose what she wants
absolutely.
to do?
So
I'm afraid.
great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's a 20-year orchestrated campaign.
and you hear what you're saying, and you feel that some of that is happening right now.
Yes.
It is just
It's being turned back instead of going
That's right.
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, men are great.
Yeah,
They are.
because then
they
it
really
means
are.
the
Well, particularly
guy.
your supreme leader.
Oh, Mom, you keep saying that, and you're acting
We
like
don't
we're
call
not.
him that. We don't.
Yeah, I
He's our
mean,
emperor.
yeah,
He's lovely.
We're not.
Supreme
Yeah, the
leader.
laws.
You are the
of-
queen.
Floating baby Trump.
Yeah. You
I
do have a
know.
queen. We have a queen.
They
yeah,
should
you
just
have a
they
queen
should just
too.
put those floating baby Trumps everywhere.
Everywhere,
Yeah.
All over
yes.
the fucking place.
Ah.
He would lose his mind if there were
Yeah.
floating
Be
baby
the
Trumps
best.
everywhere.
Well, it is going on a world tour,
Oh, well, good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
With
that's
Pi-
cool.
With Pink Floyd?
Yeah. Yep. Pink Floyd and Baby Trump. It's the new Pink Floyd concept album. Boy,
Well,
Anything else?
no, what a nightmare.
Yep.
It just never ends.
No. It doesn't end.
All right.
All right, well,
Well,
we tried.
We signed cars. We still will.
We
We do not sign
don't
uterus.
sign uteruses.
Well, actually, we'll sign a car as long as a woman isn't inside of it.
right. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
Glad you were here for something
It was
so sweet.
Most enjoyable. Yes, most enjoyable. Thank you.
Oh, shit. There you have it.
Yes, that was very good. Is that it done?
That's it done.
It's not recording anymore.
No.